these are my plaques. This is my very first one in 2014. I did Are You the One? That's me. All of my good castmates. I love them so much. Ashley, she actually just was in the last Superman. Shout out to Ashley. I love her. We did Battle of the Exes too. This was in 2015. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm right there. Me and John were partners again. Me and Johnny. Then this one is Rivals 3. Me and Thomas were partners on this one. And then this is the Challenge 30. I'm right there in the dead center smack middle. Yeah, so that's all of my shows. I've been working in the industry now for about funny enough, 20 years. Wow. Okay, your girl is 35. I started working in entertainment since I was 15. I did my very first show with MTV back in 2014. That show was Are You the One? And after I did Are You the One, it really... sorry. So I did my first interview. I did my first television show in 2014 with MTV. It was called Are You the One? I was one of 20 cast members that lived in a house together, and we were trying to find love, and we were competing for $1 million. And the best thing about that fucking show is that we won. So with that money, I was able to move to LA, start my life over. You know, back then, even in 2014, a studio apartment was $12.95 a month. My mama thought I was crazy coming to LA to pay that type of money, but I was following my dreams, and I knew I needed to be here. A lot has changed since the era before social media. Before social media, you were able to have a real, private life. And I feel like even as a creative, you were respected a lot more back then as a creative because we had to pull from different things and different places. We had to do real research and, just be very creative. Now things are a little bit different. I come from an era of, valuing time and moments and authenticity and just being present, and a lot of times we're very performative, whether it's in rooms of white people that we feel maybe if I talk like this, it'll make me sound more important or smart, or we're performative online when I know damn well, okay, I need to pay my car note, my car insurance. I don't know how I'm gonna do it this month, but I'm sitting on here doing makeup tutorials and funny skits. We coming up a very performative time. So at that time, I've never been that type of person. So it was really, really hard for me to get into social media when I was on reality TV, especially being a black girl on a white network. I got a lot of hate, a lot of backlash, a lot of oh my God, I've got some crazy messages. People finding my grandmother on Facebook and writing her your fucking granddaughter is a stupid black bitch. I hope she dies. My grandma oh my God, please don't share your location when you go out. They looking for you. I'm like, girl, these people's crazy. They just trolls. But, it's really scary that people out there will see you on TV and have this perception of you they have you figured out when they don't know who you are. The booth at my house. This is where I record. And then I get to change different colors,
They miss the way they look at with a head on the shoulders. They make me keep calling, you don't want them. You better tell me your thoughts, you should be honest. Oh yeah,
I got them bands, them bobbers, should it be on me?
I believe that you have a level of surveillance on yourself all the time before you post. Even with myself, sometimes I find myself why am I putting a filter on? I did my makeup, I look cute, the makeup is the filter on my face, but then I have to put another filter on the filter, it's why? Why do I do that? People are going to adjust the way that they feel, and their opinions based on the mass majority. Because a lot of times people don't want to be left out. Just as human beings in general, nobody wants to be left out. So if you're the oddball, if you're the person who's I don't want trans men in the women's locker room, people are gonna be, oh my God, when it's like, well, the man has on a mustache and a dress. You want me to take you serious, you gotta take yourself serious. Like, do the work to make me even think that you're not a man then, if it means so much to you. But like, see, if I said that online, I would probably get canceled. You know, like, it's just like, and sometimes it's okay, you know, if you don't feel the same way as other people, you know, as long as you're not, it doesn't affect the way you treat them. You know, just because I may not agree with a trans person does not mean that when I see them, I'm going to be like, ew, gross. I'm going to be like, hello, how are you? If they want to be called them, they, their, then that's their business. But I have learned that there's just a time and a place for everything. And sometimes what you put on social media, it can literally follow you forever.
In our modern age of social media, we are spectators. We want to see everything. The problem is, as a result, we increase the ways in which we are seen by others, so that the spectator and the spectacle become one and the same thing. Well, to begin with panopticon theory, we'd have to talk about the building. So Jeremy Bentham, in the 19th century, created a new model for prisons, in which you have a central guard tower in the center, and all the cells are cylindrically arranged around that guard tower, so that you could look into any cell from the guard tower. But the problem is no one knows where the guard is in the guard tower. And of course, as all experiments go, you begin to realize that the prisoners don't even need to have a guard in the tower. They will just behave because at any given moment, they could be watched. And so it's a government by paranoia of a certain sort, since you could be seen at any moment. If the guard decided in the guard tower to look at you, you have to always then be on your best behavior. Panopticism was a paranoia about being seen. We're now in a schizophrenia. We're already always being seen.
Early on in my career teaching, one of the big issues that everybody was afraid of, my colleagues were all really afraid of getting like posted and going viral and then like instantly getting canceled for something that they were saying for class. And it's not because that instructor themselves was trying to be part of the panopticon, but rather it was because as they went into this system where everybody had access to high quality recording at a moment's notice, the expansion of this public forum, this expansion of the panopticon started to shift how we would deliver information, at least on like the kind of other side of the podium. Everything used to be genuine, but somewhere along the lines people used to start saying things like do it for the gram, and now it's almost like the intention is that the majority of what you do in public, you understand that you might get posted and might go viral at a moment's notice. So I think that there's this shadow of a fear that you might have your big break, but that also might lead into an opportunity to be canceled, or it might lead into, you know, a meme that we're following for 3 years, like the Haktua girl or whatever else.
Sometimes I find myself commenting under like a Shade Room post or something, and then I'm like, somebody that follows me just might see this. People have a tendency of liking my comments under posts, so I'm like, I have a feeling somebody might see this, you know. So I have deleted things that I may feel very strongly about or opinionated about because I know that certain people follow me, and I feel that I've learned to accept it as I'll be able to do that in my time, you know. When I get to a certain place where I feel that I can't be canceled, you know, I make enough money to where I don't give a damn about being on your project because I funded mine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it's to that level,